Okay, in this lesson we're going to learn about square roots, and what square roots are is a system of trying to break apart a number into two numbers that are exactly the same that multiply together to make, say in this example, 25. So if I were trying to find the square root of 25, I'm thinking what number by itself would multiply to make 25? And the answer would be 5, because 5 times 5 equals 25. If I were trying to find the square root of 4, the answer would be 2, because 2 times 2 equals 4. And what you're trying to do is figure out the square root of ones that work, and the way to do this would be organize the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then work your way up to, say, 10. And the way it would work would be the square root of 25 equals 5. We know that one already. And we know the square root of 4 equals 2. To find the square root of, or to find what was square rooted to make 4, it would be 4 times 4, so it would be 16. And on your notes, you've got to fill in the rest of the sheet of all the other roots that actually work. And remember, not all square roots will work, only this set or this collection will work. So what I want you to do is on your notes is figure out what the remaining roots would be and use that as a guide, because those are the square roots that work. And you're not going to get those square roots all the time. There's going to be some square roots that you're going to have to fix. But these are the easy ones because they always work and they give you a whole number. So please do that right now before you move on. Okay, the next part would be working with square roots that don't work. So something like the square root of 12, if you look at that first chart that you filled in, 12's not on there because the square root of 12 is not equal to 6. It's not equal to 6 because 6 times 6 is not 12, it's 36. So remember, roots are not half of something. You're thinking of a number that's multiplied by itself. So how do we figure this out? And you're not allowed to use a calculator, so there's got to be another way to simplify this root. And what you're going to do is you're going to think of all the things that multiply to make 12. So I'm going to choose 4 and 3, 6 and 2, and don't choose like 1 and the number itself. That is pointless. Try to pick other numbers other than 1 times 12. Now, in your choices, only one of them is going to work, and you're looking for ones that have a square root that actually will work and be able to come out as a whole number. You can't do the square root of 6, and you can't do the square root of 2, so that choice doesn't work. But you can do the square root of 4, so let's choose that one. So what you're going to do, and I'll just change colors here, is you're going to rewrite square root of 12 as 4 times 3. And then what you're going to do is you're going to square root the number that's inside that works. Now you can think about the square root like a jail. The 4 and the 3 are in the jail. You can only leave the jail if you can be square rooted. 4 works because when 4 is square root, he leaves the jail and he becomes 2. And now he's on the outside. But the jail's still there and 3 can't leave, so he stays in the jail. So your answer becomes 2 root 3, and that's all you have to do. Let's try one more example together, and then I want you. If I had something like the square root of 8, you can't do the square root of 8. It's not equal to 4, because 4 times 4 equals 16, not 8. So I've got to break 8 down. So I choose, well, the only two things I can think of are 4 times 2, and that works. So I'm going to write 4 times 2. And remember, out of those two, 2 can't leave the jail because square root of 2 doesn't work. But square root of 4 does, and square root of 4 becomes 2 on the outside, so now he's left the jail, but the 2 is still stuck in the jail because he can't leave. So your answer just becomes 2 root 2. Okay, try the following 4 examples, pause the video, and then check your work. I'll give you 3. Okay, so pause the video and try these yourself. Okay, for the first one, there's a number of things that multiply to 18. You've got 6 and 3, and 9 and 2. 9 and 2 works because 6 and 3, neither of those square root. The 9 can be square rooted, so choose that one. So if I rewrite that as square root of 9 times 2, the 9 can leave, and it becomes 3. But the 2 is stuck, and it just becomes 3 root 2. On square root of 20, the one that works is 4 and 5. So if I rewrite 20 as root 4 times 5, the 4 can square root, and you're left with 2 on the outside. So write this below here. But the 5 is stuck in the jail, and it stays there as 2 root 5. Okay, 24. One that works is 6 times 4. I'm going to write it as 4 times 6. The 4 can leave, becomes 2. The 6 cannot leave, and it becomes 2 root 6. Okay, so hopefully you got those right. If you didn't, go back and watch the first part of the video and try these examples again. Okay, the final part for the beginning part video for roots is what happens if you have a number out of the root. So something like 2, well actually no, let's not use 2 because that'll be confusing. Let's try 3 root 8. This 3 is doing nothing. It's outside of the root, has nothing to do with the question, it's just there. Don't worry about it. Just focus on the root 8. Okay, so let's simplify that. Don't worry about the 3. Well, we know what to do. Root 8 doesn't work. Let's break it down into 4 times 2. So 4 times 2. If 4 can square root, it can leave, and you get a 2. And this 2 is stuck inside the jail, so you leave it. It's root 2. But remember, you started with a 3, and you've got this 3 that was there. We'll just bring it down and write it in front. Now, what are the 3 and the 2 doing? Well, if they're beside each other, they're always multiplying. So 3 times 2 would just become 6. So the question's exactly the same. The only thing you've got to do is remember to bring the number down and multiply it with whatever you brought out of the jail. So 6 root 2 would be your answer. Okay, final point, you try 2 examples. Let's try 3 root 12 and 2 root 18. Okay, pause it and try it. Okay, on this one, you would choose, forget about the 3 on the outside, break the 12 into 4 times 3. The 4 can leave, it becomes 2 root 3. Bring your 3 down, they multiply, and you get 6 root 3. Okay, next one, break the 18 down into 9 times 2. The 9 can square root, whoops, and you would get 3, but the 2 is stuck, and bring down your 2, and multiply them together, and you would get 6 root 2. Now if you didn't get those right, go back and watch that part of the video. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2 will be up in a bit.